as the title suggests, this video is once again about the Sam Pepper scandal. Now, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't make videos on a daily basis at all, and I also haven't had any experience like any of the other people I've had that have made videos like this before. But when the whole scandal broke, I decided that actually maybe I needed to speak up and talk about it more, because as one YouTuber said, if their sub boxes are filled with this talk for the next month, that's actually better than it just disappearing into a hole and not being talked about. So I'm really here to discuss the fact that the E4 show Virtually Famous, which featured Kevin McHale as the host, I guess, has Sam Pepper on the show. Now, he was on the show, and I will link that episode in the description box below, but he was on that show to talk about Draw My Life, and how he was the YouTuber that set it up, and how that became a huge cult phenomenon, and how every YouTuber kind of does the Draw My Life tag, and then kind of does a TMI tag about 10 years later, because it's all like, okay, now I'm old enough to talk about it. But during his episode on Virtually Famous, it was brought to the attention that they talked about the whole how to kiss strangers, or how to make, or whatever the video is, the other videos that he's made. And it didn't really dawn on me. I mean, I was watching with my dad, so it was kind of awkward to watch in the first place. But bearing in mind that my reasoning, as I'm sure you've noticed from other vlogs that I've done in the past, with my reasoning, a lot of the stuff that was being talked about, so the reason I was watching it was because, Kevin's in Glee and he plays Artie and everything. But from what I gathered, every single person on that panel sort of found it hilarious that he was going up to strangers and forcing them to make out with him. And I will agree, I didn't think it was funny, but at the same time I will admit I didn't think there was anything wrong. I guess, again, as I said, I'm not a YouTuber and I didn't really understand the thing about it. But for me, that now that it's all come out and everything's, out in the open and stuff, it really is speaking volumes to the fact that they even got him on the show and then nobody bothered to think, wait, what this guy is just doing. Clearly they obviously must have spoken to a PR, they must have spoken to his management. And considering how that really shoddy reply that he gave about how it was a social experiment, and how everyone was like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. And everyone's now saying, oh, it must be his management, and they made him say it. I mean, maybe they made him go on there to kind of boost up his rep, but I just can't see how they then decided to laugh about it and think it was funny that he basically lassoed girls and forced them to make out with him and all this sort of stuff, and how even, Kevin, who's in a show that, yeah, okay, as it's got on for more seasons, it's become a bit more adult and a bit more grown up, but still, you must realise that the people that watch Glee would have been tuning in because he was in it. I just can't believe that they had him on the show, and I feel rather uneasy that was something that was on the show and nobody went afterwards, wait a second, forcing girls to make out with you is not entertainment. That's harassment. That's actually worrying that people are watching this thinking that this is actually entertainment. It's not. So yeah, that was just my piece on it, really. Like I say, I'm not a YouTuber at all. I'm not in that inner circle, and I never will be, but I just thought, somebody who's an outsider who really, once the scandal hit, remembered Virtually Famous, or remembered how now, looking back on it, how uneasy I now feel that he was on the show. Yeah, okay, he was on the show for Draw My Life, but at the end of it they still mentioned, the prank videos, and I just, yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually bothered to tell anyone that was on the show about the allegations, but I really think somebody should. But, But I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that, you know, YouTube is another celebrity void that people fall into, and as we know, people abuse their power and abuse their followers and their fans. Yeah. So that was really all I wanted to say. As I say, I'll link the episode in the description box below. And of course, like every other really big YouTuber, or bigger YouTubers than me anyway, have said, we need to keep this discussion going. We need to keep this discussion up. We can't just stop just because it's died down, because that's not fair. You know, there are people out there that we're not forcing anybody to come forward. Nobody's telling people you have to come forward, but obviously these people need to be away from the internet, completely away from the internet. They cannot come back, regardless of what they believe. They can't come back. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I stayed silent for a while because I didn't really know what to say or how to react to it, but I now think I need to speak up and say that actually, you know, if they'd had him, you know, if he'd done the pinching girls' bums prank before Virtually Famous was out and they had him on there, I don't think they would have had him on there, and I think that's what's so shocking, is that people think by making out with girls in the middle of, you know, an LA a sidewalk in the middle of the street or wherever it was. I haven't even watched the videos because I just think it's disgusting and horrible. But the fact that they thought that was okay to mention, but if he'd done the pinching people's bums prank, how they probably, if they laughed at that, and but yet all the backlash, you know. So I just think that they have a lot to answer for if they think that was entertainment and then that was something they could laugh at, when actually considering it's really not that funny. But yeah, anyway, this is just my piece on it. So do with it what you will, but I thought I'd add my voice.